So I work as a sound tech, which basically means that I just put out fires. That's my job. There's feedback, microphones fail, all that good stuff. I'm the one that's responsible for fixing it. You know, you can almost guarantee that something's gonna go wrong because audio equipment just they don't like fucking people, apparently. We had a band last weekend, and the way that we mic up our guitars, for this example, I'm just gonna use this, but we will gaff tape the microphone to the cone of the speaker like this, right? The thing about gaff tape is it kind of fucking sucks. It's good because it doesn't leave residue and stuff like that, but it's not very sticky. And with this material specifically, I don't know what this is, doesn't like to stick. So naturally, about 2 songs in, it fell off. Clicking around the board, I'm not hearing guitar, I'm like, what the hell's going on? Then I realized, oh shit, it must have fallen. So I run up on the stage, grab the microphone, put it back, and I'm taping it back up like this, with the guitar blasting in my ear, when there was a wave of feedback that just punched me in the face like Mike Tyson. And I'm not a doctor, but I can pretty safely say I blew out my eardrum. I've just had this horrible tinnitus, this ringing, and it feels like I'm underwater almost. Both proverbially and literally. It sucks. It's gonna suck to edit this because I just don't like noise, just pisses me off right now. I think that the hardest part for me recently, anyway, is that I was really on a music kick. Like really hard. I can't do it right now. Like just regular sounds hurt.
Your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please check the number and dial again.
I want to preface this statement by saying I know it makes me sound like a boomer. I'm well aware of it, but it's something I feel like I need to talk about. It's strangely dystopian to be people watching, taking photos of people specifically. And 95% of your photos are just people looking at their phones. I say this knowing full well that I am guilty of the same thing. I do it all the time. My phone is kind of like my safe space when I feel overwhelmed or anxious or I feel that dread kicking in. If I look at something that I'm familiar with, like my phone, it helps to calm me down. But I don't make it a habit to like look up and see what everybody else is doing. In fact, it's only when I'm out doing street photography that I'm paying attention to what other people are doing. So you can imagine the shock when I noticed almost everyone is just a zombie, literally glued to their phone like this while the world is just happening around them. notice it at work too. There's a strange disconnect between this new generation that's coming up and my generation. And I really think that the youth of today is headed for like a mighty existential crisis once they reach their 30s. When I'm working, I sit in like a crow's nest that overlooks, the crowd. So I can kind of see what everybody's doing. And there is a direct correlation between the amount of people that are in the venue and how close people's selfies are. That can only be indicative of one thing. It seems like the youth of today, and excuse me if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like the youth of today cares more about presenting a good time than actually having one. When the place is full of people, these kids have their phones way up here like this. Like, look at what we're doing. Look at this great time we're having. And on the nights where we're not busy, the selfies are like this, with just the friends on either side. So you can still present the narrative that you're out and about and having a good time out in public without actually doing it. These cell phones are poisonous in some ways. There's no way that that is healthy. And quite frankly, it just makes me a little nervous for that generation. I know that my generation also had some sort of existential meltdown once we reached our 30s. Hell, for a lot of us, we're still going through it. It just seems like a perpetual thing at this point. But it's on a different level entirely. This new group of young adults don't know a world without a cell phone. Am I wrong to think that that's scary? Am I just old? I'm probably just old.